We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. Yeah. Wake up. The cake up. Raise up. Or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you. Right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke them off. Quarterback did an option and set it off.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that. Marker didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
his position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he'll only get a yard, maybe two, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to fire one deep over. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Kayvon Webster there to make the tackle.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Let's go now.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. From the gun, Winston. Forced out to his left. And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Freeman. Freeman a 1st down and more. And now running right through it. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A big run there by Freeman. 43 yards. And Freeman, not sure if he was a surprise exactly, but he sure took the NFL by storm.
But when you talk with his team, they'll tell you they saw this coming. They knew he had the talent. They were just ready to turn him loose on a full-time basis, and he took full advantage of it.
And now one of the most electrifying runners in the game today.
11. Hey, South.
So that'll back him up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Hey, got it. 12. Let's go. Hey, right.
To throw is Ryan. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He'll buy some time right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. Yeah,
it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Ito Smith, his first carry, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tyler Davison able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Winston. There's the Penn State man, it's Chris Godwin. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Now Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Winston. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Let's go. It's time to play.
Again, it's Winston. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Winston now. He'll rifle this one deep right side into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Ryan on second down. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. From the gun on third down, Ryan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. David. This is Jones. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Now a second down throw for Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Winston. Looking downfield for Jones. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. To throw is Winston. He's got Evans. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Winston now from the 50. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jameis again. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the second half.
Dances by him. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Dancing to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go now.
Second down, Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Get up! Left! Get out!
From the gun, it's Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Third and long for Winston. Buying time to his left. Going up top for Miller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play for the Bucs there on third down. 52 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
And tough sledding. You'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On third down, here's Jones. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A big loss there of 9 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Ryan on first down. He goes underneath to Freeman. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
22. Let's go.
On second down, here's Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver, and it's third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On third down, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down. fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to let this one go, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. So many times you think of these tight ends catching the ball already in the end zone. But today's tight end, they can run after the catch, too, to score.
They're big, they're strong, but they're extremely athletic. And they can surprise the heck out of you when they get the ball in their hands and they're running away from the defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind, with him running the team, that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try and run for it with Smith. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it with Smith. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On third down, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Let's go now.
The give is to Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now a carry for the big fella. This is Jameis Olawale. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Jameis to throw it. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They needed 14. They got 15 here on third down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Now it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it's 3rd down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. One last shot for Ryan. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rest with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. The American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them. How to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They ain't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know I'm the average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like